All right. Hey, welcome to this class on financial empowerment. I'm so happy to have you here. I'm so excited because this class on financial empowerment is important to you. Not only is it important to you, but it's important to the world, because when you are financially empowered, you generate abundance and wealth for yourself, and that spills over to the world. The way the economy works is, if one of us is comfortable, a lot of us are comfortable. Financial wealth spreads from one person to the other. Wealth is not dollar bills, because you know that dollar bills can be worth a lot or could be worth very little, depending on how the economy is doing and what inflation does. But when one person, but what finances really are, when you do feel completely abundant, when you do feel wealthy, what you do is you trade. That money flows out of you and flows to other people, and it's just this energy that goes from person to person to person. It's contagious. Money is contagious. It goes from person to person to person at an alarming rate, and everyone who is open to it, who is financially empowered, benefits from it. The opposite is also true. You see it right now. I'm filming this thing when we are in the 2020 COVID crisis, and you know that the more people get hysterical about shutdowns, about the economy, more people are withdrawing from the stock market. There's less and less and less to go around, the more people close up and get financially unempowered. So let's talk about financial empowerment. Let's talk about the power that you have in your life to be financially abundant. I'll tell you where I come from, okay? I grew up in a home, I don't know about my home. This isn't about blaming. My parents did amazing. They did the best they could. But I felt financially scared all the time. I was scared as a child. I worked as a mother's helper. I worked really hard. Like I cooked parties for 100 people. I prepared a guest house for like 20 guests at a time to earn. I started at $6 an hour and I went up to $8 an hour. So this is the life that I had. And what did I do with the money? I gave it to my parents so that they can buy me stuff. So that was my mindset. So when I got into adulthood and I was slapped with real bills that I really needed to pay, my attitude was there. My attitude of like, there isn't enough and I have to work super hard. So I had about 3 part-time jobs, each of which took all of my energy, but I did 3 part-time jobs at once, besides for being pregnant, having a baby, being pregnant again, having another baby, having 2 little ones under the age of 2, and working really hard. When I was about 25 years old, I was like, this isn't working. It really wasn't working. Like, I would have continued my whole life believing the same beliefs if it hadn't gotten too hard and too impossible. It was simply impossible to keep believing that there isn't enough, and that in order for there to be enough, the way to get more is to work. That's not the way to get wealthy, just in case you're wondering. And so I started learning. And I came across many different disciplines, including the law of attraction, the law of valuing ourselves enough to stop doing what doesn't work. And I started doing a lot of work in financial empowerment. One of the things I did was, I remember this exercise distinctly because it was a very powerful exercise, and I'll be giving it to you in just a moment. And I basically envisioned what my life would be like if I would have financial abundance, if there would be enough, if I wouldn't be operating from a place of there isn't, what about the crisis, what about the fact that we're not earning, what about the fact that we don't have skills, what about the fact that we don't have a college education, what about all of the reasons for us not to have enough. I put that aside and I asked myself, well, what if all those factors would not be a factor And in fact, instead of all of that, I would just have enough. What would life look like? Well, and I started imagining and envisioning what my life would look like. One of the things that I came up with was an amount of money that felt like, wow, I mean, if I had that amount of money, I was good, you know? I had very limited beliefs around that, but it was a six-figure amount that I was like, well, if I have six figures, I'm good, right? Didn't take very long. It didn't take very long for me to continue doing this work and shift the things that I can show you how to shift them in an even faster way. We can do this in a matter of days. It didn't take long before I got that exact amount of money that I had pictures, but exactly. That was the amount of money we started earning. And that told me something. It told me that our minds are incredibly powerful. We can come up with the type of lifestyle we want to live, and we will get it because we are that powerful. I want to tell you something. When we think that we have enough and we picture going towards that enoughness and we trust that we have enough, that's what we get. We're that powerful. And when we think, well, there isn't enough, there's a crisis, there isn't enough, right? There isn't enough. We start buying so much toilet paper that nobody else has. We start buying gold so that nobody else has, so that the price of gold falls. We start doing the things that are detrimental to us because we are thinking the thoughts and feeling the feelings that take us out of abundance. Now, let me tell you something, and this is something that you can write down for yourself because it's very important for you to remember and for you to always, always know. And this is, you are being financially supported all the time. It started when you were a fetus at conception, right? You didn't have to make it, but you made it, and you became alive, and you were sustained. You didn't have to pay $1 for that, by the way. You were sustained. You were sustained. You were sustained. You were born. So many miracles happened, and you had milk. You were sustained. Now you spent, I'm assuming if you're listening to this, you're at least 20 years old. You have been sustained for the last 20 years. There were some things you didn't get, and we can go into that as well. But your basic needs, food, clothing, and shelter, you always had that. Why is that, right? When a tree starts growing, the tree doesn't ask itself, well, how am I going to be sustained? Will I stay alive? A tree knows that if it's here, it's going to be alive. As long as it's alive, it's going to be sustained. You too are going to be sustained. And the more we lean into that wealth, the fact that there will always be enough, the more that becomes our reality, the more that multiplies, the more that works. How does it work? How does it work this way? Well, the law of attraction says that we look at ourselves and we're like, I'm a person, right? I am this person and this is my reality. And right now I'm thinking about the crisis that's happening around me and I'm worried. So if I just take this job, or if I'm able to work 20 more hours, or if I can find something online that I can do while I'm locked into the house, or, if I can just find this one solution towards my problem, that's going to give me that amount of money that I foresee coming. And that's it, I'm good, right? But the truth is, you are so many systems. You are your mind, which is thinking all these plans. You are your heart, which is feeling maybe fear, maybe excitement, maybe hope, maybe boredom, right? We can go deeper. All of your organs, you're so complex. But the truth is that each one of your organs and even each one of your thoughts are made up of very small particles, atoms, and subatomic particles, which are really you're not just a person, you are a lot of atoms and the parts of atoms just dancing around each other. And what's making all of that move? Energy. Energy is what makes all of it move. Some of us call it soul, right? Without soul, all of this whole person that you are, dead, right? But as long as you have that energy, as long as you have that soul, you are moving, you're dynamic, you're always shifting. Your cells are regenerating at such a rapid pace that every 2 weeks you have new skin, right? And that is true for each part of your body. And so everything is constantly moving. So not only you are moving and each part of you is moving, but the economy is moving. Everything around you is moving. So when you're thinking thoughts that say, oh, there's not enough, I better make sure to save my few tissues and my few pieces of things because that's all I have. What you're doing is closing down, shutting down, being tight. And from that place of tightness, nothing moves around. You stay stagnant. So even though you want those 20 hours of work, which will give you X amount of money, and you're like wanting it, you're also so tight, you can't even allow it in, right? And when you're tight, this is contagious. Your energy is not just you, right? Your energy is all around you. Your voice, I mean, a very simple way of saying this, because we don't want to go into the whole fact that like you have energy that literally comes out of you. If somebody comes near you, they feel warmth next to you. They don't have to touch you. They can feel that warmth. That's your energy emanating out of you. But that's not all. Where was I going with this? I was going to give you a different example, but like the fact is, right? Your warmth projects out of you. Your voice projects out of you. Your eyesight, your eyes are here, but like you're seeing everything that's around you. You're not limited to the place where you are. Your energy is able to get to worlds. The fact is I'm sitting here now, you're sitting where you're sitting. We're talking, right? We're talking. The energy that you have has the ability to go around the globe and beyond. According to mystical sources, Jewish mystical sources of the Kabbalah, when we do a very simple act, that energy that you have actually builds worlds. Now, I don't have enough information on that. I've never seen those worlds, but we can understand based on the fact that when you say something, another person hears it and is affected by it. If you are afraid, your fear goes into the other person. If you are abundant and you have enough money to splurge, and therefore you go into the jewelry store, the clothing store, the fashion store, the restaurants, and you keep on spilling out from your abundance onto others, they are now abundant. You know that your energy expands. It's expansive. It's catchy. It's contagious. It's way beyond you. So when you have an energy inside of you, inside of your mind, all these tiny, tiny atoms, which are not standing still, they're constantly changing. Some of them are dying. Some of them are regenerating. When your atoms inside your brain are saying, I believe that I have been sustained until now, from the time of conception until today. I have always been sustained. And I will continue being sustained, not only sustained, but as I grow. Every day I grow, my information grows, I get older, I get wiser, I get richer. That's how it works. Financial crisis or not, regardless of that, right? And just as an alive thing, just as, when you look at your heart rate, it goes up and down. If you look at the atoms in your brain, some of them are dying, some of them are regenerating. This time that's considered a financial crisis, you may have some things that will die out. That's the down. It goes right back up. So if you have beliefs in your brain which are dancing around and saying, I believe that there is enough. I've always been sustained and I will continue being sustained. When you have that, that's the type of energy that's moving through your body. When that's the type of energy that moves through your body, it moves way out, not only through your body, it moves to the next person. It moves to the job interview that you have. It moves to the clients that you have. It moves into the economy, and it affects how much the economy is volatile, depending on how you are. Now, there are plenty of people who are doing great work being afraid and shutting down, and you're feeling that. Their energy is also contagious. but you have tremendous ability to change that. What I'm doing right now in the face of financial crisis is I'm sitting here and I'm saying, look, people, right? We can choose to believe that, or we can choose to believe something else. It's our choice. You are that empowered. You have enough power to operate from a place of wealth, from a place of abundance, from a place of well-being. That's what it is. And so that's your financial empowerment. Your financial empowerment is knowing that your brain, your thoughts, your feelings have a tremendous effect. It's not stagnant. There's not one way. There are many ways for you to get financially empowered, and it starts in your thoughts. So we're going to go on. In our next video, you will be hearing about how to affect these thoughts, how to be in a place of, I'm confident, I'm taken care of, I see it reflected in my life, because that's where we want to be. We want to see it reflected in our life. We want to be completely abundant. We want to be completely confident. And so we're going to head into that really soon. For now, say this with me. I have always been sustained. I have always been sustained, and I will continue to be so. I am cared for. I am wealthy. I am abundant. And my abundance spills over from my head into my heart, from my heart into my reality, from my reality into everyone else. I am taken care of. All right, guys, love you so much. Thank you for watching. And I look forward to showing you, giving you those tools to take this to the next level. All right.